Every one of us, whether we know it or not, when we wake up in the morning, we're living a question. And that kind of question drives the kinds of things we do. It drives the way we answer and respond to the world. It drives, in fact, the way we think about the world and who we are. Let me give you a quick example. So about 2 years ago, I was getting ready to give a speech. And I ended up going down, setting up the equipment, having pressure on my chest. I ended up thinking it was just nervousness. Went down, gave a 90-minute speech, sat down, the pressure came back, my neck started to ache. I got a bit nauseous, went back to the hotel room as soon as I could, told my wife what was going on. She said, "Are you having a heart attack?" I said, "I don't know." So I got out the computer, I typed up heart attack symptoms, and sure enough, I had all the symptoms. And I said, "Susie, I'm having a heart attack, let's go to the hospital." She had just finished exercising, and she's like, "Let me take a quick shower before we go." I mean, "No, Susie, we're going to the hospital now." So we race to the hospital. I end up telling them at the front desk I'm having a heart attack, and then I emotionally shut down. And they take me into the hospital, and I wake up the next day basically having had 2 arteries blocked 85 and 90% and 3 stents put in my heart. I'd been hectically and frantically living a busy professional life. I was a classic male, didn't talk to anybody about it after the heart attack. And then I had the chance to work and talk with a very good counselor about the situation, someone who knew me quite well. She looked me in the eye at one point and she said, "Hal, if you don't stop being nice to people, you're going to kill yourself. You're going to have another heart attack." And I realized at that moment the question that I've been living all of my life. How can I be nice to people? How can I be nice to you? Now, when you try to be nice to people and you work really hard to do that, you actually can advance and succeed pretty well in this world, in any kind of career. But there's a price to be paid, and often it's deeply personal, and for me it was my health. And I realized, wrong question, Hal. You need to live a different question. And the question I came up with after a lot of thought and reflection was, how can I make a positive difference in your life right now? That's different than being nice, because sometimes when we're trying to make a positive difference, it's actually perceived as not being nice to somebody else. Sometimes we call it tough love, but it is what it is. That's the moment where I fully discovered the question I'd been living all of my life. I'd grown up in an emotionally abusive home, and I was always trying to please my dad, and that question lived with me: how can I make you happy for the rest of my life? And frankly, even though I know my question now, it doesn't mean it's gone. It still jumps back, and I still have to fight it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give up, and I'm still committed to that new question. And so my question for you is, what's yours? What question drives you in the morning when you wake up, and is it the right one?